My child, before you scroll away, listen carefully. What I'm about to tell you is connected to the burden you've been carrying in silence. The burden you rarely speak about. The burden that follows you through the day and keeps you awake at night. You thought the struggle was about money. You thought it was about the relationship that never healed. You thought it was about the opportunity that never arrived. You thought it was about the door that remained closed despite all your prayers. But there is something deeper happening. And before this message ends, you will understand why this season has felt so difficult. Because what you have been fighting is not what you think. Listen closely. This message is not appearing before you by accident. I know exactly where your thoughts have been. I know the questions that keep returning. I know the disappointment you try to hide from others. I know how tired you are of waiting. There were moments when you smiled on the outside while carrying worrying on the inside. Moments when nobody knew how much pressure you were under. Moments when you wondered if anyone truly understood what you were feeling. But I understood. I was there. I saw every tear that never fell. I heard every prayer that never became words. I noticed every time you chose to keep going when giving up seemed easier. And this is why I need your full attention right now. Because many people are making a mistake in this season. They are focusing on what they can see. They are staring at the obstacle, staring at the delay, staring at the closed door, staring at the problem. And because of that, they are missing the miracle that is quietly developing behind the scenes. Do not make the same mistake, because what I am about to reveal may change the way you see your situation forever. But first, I need you to stop looking at your life through the eyes of fear. Fear has been speaking too loudly. Fear has been telling you that nothing is changing. Fear has been convincing you that you are stuck. Fear has been showing you every possible way things could go wrong. Yet fear has hidden something important from you. Something I want to show you today. Stay with me. Because in a few moments, you will begin to understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. My child, now that you have quieted your heart for a moment, I want to show you something that many people never understand. It concerns the very thing you have been waiting for. The answer, the breakthrough, the opportunity, the relationship, the change you have been praying to see. You have spent so much time asking when it will happen that you have rarely stopped to ask why it has not happened yet. And the answer may surprise you. Because the delay is not always about what stands in front of you. Sometimes the delay is about what must happen within you. Listen carefully. A tree cannot support fruit before its roots become strong enough. A building cannot rise higher until its foundation is prepared. A vessel cannot carry greater responsibility until it develops greater strength. Yet when it comes to your own life, you often want the harvest before the preparation. You want the blessing before the growth. You want the answer before the lesson. You want the destination before the journey. But I see what lies ahead. I know what the next season requires. And because I love you, I refuse to release certain things before you are ready to carry them. Think about that. What feels like denial may actually be protection. What feels like silence may actually be preparation. What feels like waiting may actually be development. There are qualities being formed in you right now that could not be formed any other way. Patience, wisdom, discernment, endurance, compassion, strength. The very things you will need later. And while you are focused on the door, I am focused on the person standing in front of it. Because the blessing is important, but who you become is even more important. Many people receive what they prayed for only to lose it, because they were never prepared to sustain it. Some receive success, but lack wisdom. Some receive influence, but lack humility. Some receive abundance, but lack discipline. Some receive opportunities, but lack discernment. The result is pain that could have been avoided. That is why preparation matters. And that is why your current season has value even if you do not fully understand it. But wait, there is another reason certain doors remain closed. And this part is specifically for the person who has been questioning whether they made a mistake. You keep replaying the past. You keep wondering whether one decision ruined everything. You keep asking yourself if you missed your chance. You keep looking backward when your future is waiting ahead. Listen to me. Your story is not over because of one mistake. Your purpose is not cancelled because of one wrong turn. Your future has not been destroyed by a single season of weakness. If that were true, nobody would fulfill their purpose. Every person who has ever achieved anything meaningful has faced failure. Every person who has ever grown has made mistakes. Every person who has ever learned wisdom has experienced seasons of confusion. Yet many people allow one chapter to define the entire book. Do not do that. You are not your worst day. You are not your biggest mistake. You are not the fear that whispers against you. You are not the disappointment you experienced. You are not the rejection you faced. There is more to your story than what happened yesterday, and there is more ahead than what currently stands before you. Sometimes the enemy of your future is not failure. It is fixation. Fixation on what went wrong. Fixation on what was lost. Fixation on who left. Fixation on the opportunity that disappeared. Fixation on the version of life you thought you would have by now. But if you continue staring at what is behind you, you will struggle to recognize what is being placed ahead of you. That is why I need you to release some things. Release the conversation you wish had gone differently. Release the disappointment you keep revisiting. Release the dream that no longer fits where I am leading you. Release the weight you were never meant to carry forever. Because I cannot lead you into a new season while your hands remain tightly wrapped around the old one. And here is something else I need you to hear. The closed door is not your enemy. The wrong door opening would have been far more dangerous. There are situations from which I protected you that you still do not know about. People from whom I separated you for a reason. Paths I redirected because they would have led you into greater pain. Decisions I prevented because they would have created unnecessary suffering. One day you will understand. One day you will look back and see what was hidden. One day the pieces will fit together. And when they do, gratitude will replace confusion. Peace will replace frustration. Understanding will replace doubt. But until then, faith must carry you where understanding cannot. Listen carefully, because this next part is important. Your breakthrough is not created the day it appears. It begins long before. A harvest begins with a seed. A sunrise begins while the sky is still dark. A victory begins before the battle ends, and the changes coming into your life are already in motion. You may not see them, you may not feel them, you may not have evidence of them, but movement is happening. Conversations are taking place. Circumstances are shifting. Opportunities are developing. People are being positioned. Doors are being prepared. The future is moving towards you even while you wonder whether anything is changing. So stop measuring my work by what you can see today. There is more happening than your eyes can perceive. There is more unfolding than your mind can understand. There is more being arranged than you realize. And this is why you must remain faithful in the small things. Remain faithful when nobody notices. Remain faithful when progress seems slow. Remain faithful when answers take longer than expected. Remain faithful when discouragement tries to convince you to quit. Because faithfulness in hidden seasons creates strength for visible seasons. And the season ahead will require strength. The opportunities ahead will require wisdom. The blessings ahead will require maturity. You are being prepared for more than you know. So do not envy those who seem ahead of you. Do not compare your journey to theirs. Do not assume that delay means defeat. Your timeline is not their timeline. Your purpose is not their purpose. Your path is not their path. Trust the process. Trust the preparation. Trust the growth taking place beneath the surface. And above all, trust me. Because in the next part of this message, I want to reveal the hidden battle taking place in your mind right now, the battle that has been stealing your peace, draining your strength, and trying to keep you from seeing what is already beginning to change. My child, there is a battle taking place right now. Not in your workplace, not in your finances, not in your relationships, not even in the circumstances surrounding you. The greatest battle is happening in a place nobody else can see. It is happening in your mind. And if you do not recognize it, you may spend years fighting the wrong enemy. Listen carefully. The enemy knows something about you. He knows that if he cannot stop your purpose, he will try to stop your confidence. If he cannot destroy your future, he will try to convince you that you have no future. If he cannot remove the blessing I have prepared for you, he will attempt to make you give up before you reach it. That is why so many attacks begin in the mind. The thought appears suddenly. What if nothing changes? What if I fail? What if I am not good enough? What if I never recover from this? What if I have already missed my chance? At first, it seems harmless. Just a thought, just a question, just a possibility. But if you entertain it long enough, it begins to grow. What started as doubt becomes fear. What started as fear becomes anxiety. What started as anxiety becomes hopelessness. And before long, you find yourself carrying a burden that never belonged to you. This is why you must guard your thoughts. Not every thought deserves a seat at your table. Not every fear deserves your attention. Not every voice deserves your agreement. There are thoughts that arrive only to distract you from what I am doing. There are lies designed specifically to make you forget everything I have already brought you through. Think about it. How many times have you worried about something that never happened? How many nights have you lost sleep over situations that resolve themselves? How many times have you imagined the worst, only to discover later that your fears were unnecessary? The mind can create prisons that do not exist. And some of the walls surrounding you are not real walls at all. They are assumptions, they are fears. They are conclusions formed without the full picture. But wait, this next part is important. Because there is one lie that has been attacking many people listening right now. The lie that says you are alone. The lie that says nobody understands. The lie that says nobody sees your struggle. The lie that says you must carry everything by yourself. That Lee has stolen peace from countless people. It has convinced them to suffer in silence. It has convinced them to stop hoping. It has convinced them that help will never come. But it is still a lie. because I have been with you in every season. I was there during the victories. I was there during the disappointments. I was there when your heart was full of faith. And I was there when your faith felt weak. I have never stepped away from you, not once. Even during the moments when you felt abandoned. Even during the moments when you questioned everything. Even during the moments when you wondered if your prayers were reaching heaven. I was there, closer than you realized. And I am here now. The challenge is not my presence. The challenge is your focus, because whatever receives your focus eventually influences your emotions. If you focus only on problems, fear grows. If you focus only on obstacles, discouragement grows. If you focus only on uncertainty, anxiety grows. But when you focus on my faithfulness, hope grows. When you remember previous victories, courage grows. When you recall my promises, peace grows. What you feed becomes stronger. This is why I need you to stop feeding fear. Stop replaying worst-case scenarios. Stop building imaginary disasters in your mind. Stop giving your attention to voices that produce panic instead of peace. There are people around you who are constantly speaking fear. They speak fear about the economy, fear about the future, fear about relationships, fear about the world, fear about things they cannot control. And if you listen long enough, their fear begins to influence your own thinking. Be careful what you allow into your heart. Not every opinion deserves your trust. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every message deserves your belief, because what enters your mind repeatedly eventually shapes how you see your life. And right now, I want to reshape your vision. I want you to see what fear is hidden from you. I want you to see the strength that has already been developing inside you. Look at yourself honestly. You have survived difficult seasons. You have endured disappointments. You have overcome challenges you once believed were impossible. You are stronger than you think, yet fear keeps trying to convince you otherwise. Fear points to your weaknesses. I point to your growth. Fear reminds you of what went wrong. I remind you of what was learned. Fear says you are stuck. I say you are being prepared. Fear says nothing is changing. I say transformation is already happening. Who will you believe? Because the answer to that question determines how you walk into the next season. Listen closely. The battle for your future often begins with a battle for your thoughts. Long before someone gives up physically, they usually give up mentally. Long before someone quits externally, they quit internally. That is why protecting your mind is so important. The enemy does not need to destroy your opportunities if he can destroy your confidence. He does not need to block every door if he can convince you not to walk through the door when it opens. He does not need to defeat you if he can persuade you to defeat yourself. Do not fall into that trap. You have come too far to surrender now. You have endured too much to quit now. You have survived too many storms to turn back now. There is still purpose ahead. There is still growth ahead. There is still blessing ahead. And there is still victory ahead. Not because life will suddenly become easy, but because I will continue walking beside you. Remember this. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the confidence that you are not facing those problems alone. And that peace is available to you right now, not after every situation is resolved. Not after every prayer is answered ... not after every obstacle disappears. Right now, in this moment. So take a deep breath. Release the thoughts that have been exhausting you. Release the fears that have been draining you. Release the worries that have been stealing your joy. You do not need to carry them anymore. Because something is already shifting, something is already changing. And in the next part of this message, I want to reveal the blessing that has been moving toward you while you were focused on the battle or opportunity, the breakthrough, and the unexpected favor that is closer than you realize. Stay with me for a few more moments, because what I am about to reveal is something your heart has needed to hear for a very long time. Many people look at their wounds and see only loss. They look at their disappointments and see only failure. They look at their tears and see only pain. But I see something different. I see what those experiences have produced inside you. I see the strength you gained when you thought you were falling apart. I see the wisdom that came through seasons of confusion. I see the compassion that was born from your suffering. I see the patience that developed while you waited. And I tell you now, nothing has been wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single prayer. Not a single lonely night. Not a single moment when you wondered if I was listening. I was there. I was watching. I was working. Even when you could not see my hand. Even when everything around you seemed silent. Even when the answers did not come as quickly as you expected. I was still moving. I was still preparing. I was still building something greater than you could understand. Listen carefully. The enemy wanted your pain to become your identity. He wanted you to believe that your mistakes defined you. He wanted you to carry shame everywhere you went. He wanted you to introduce yourself through your failures. But that is not who you are. You are not your worst day. You are not your biggest mistake. You are not the words spoken against you. You are not the labels others placed upon you. You belong to me. And what I call you is far more important than what anyone else has called you. I call you chosen. I call you loved. I call you redeemed. I call you valuable. I call you mine. Take a moment and let those words settle deep into your spirit. Because many battles begin in the mind. The enemy cannot always stop your future. So he tries to convince you that you have no future. He cannot always destroy your purpose. So he tries to make you doubt your purpose. He cannot always steal your blessing. So he tries to make you worrying until you can no longer see it. But today I am exposing every lie. The lie that says you are forgotten. The lie that says you are abandoned. The lie that says nothing will ever change. The lie that says you have missed your opportunity. The lie that says your best days are behind you. These are not my words. My words bring life. My words bring hope. My words bring strength. My words bring peace. And my words over your life have not changed. What I promised, I still intend to fulfill. What I started, I will finish. What I planted, I will grow. What I prepared, no one can steal. Now listen carefully, because this part is important. Some of the delays you experienced were actually protection. You called them setbacks. I called them preparation. You called them disappointments. I called them redirection. You called them closed doors. I called them rescue. There were places you wanted to go that would have wounded you. There were people you wanted to trust who would have betrayed you. There were opportunities you thought you needed that would have distracted you from your true assignment, so I intervened. Not to hurt you, not to punish you, but to protect you. One day you will look back and thank me for the doors that never opened. You will thank me for the plans that never worked. You will thank me for the relationships that ended. You will thank me for the paths that disappeared. Because you will finally see what I was protecting you from. And when that understanding comes, peace will replace confusion. Gratitude will replace frustration. Trust will replace fear. I know there are moments when you feel tired, moments when you feel like giving up, moments when you wonder if continuing is worth the effort. I see those moments. I understand them completely. But I am asking you to hold on a little longer, not because you are strong enough on your own, but because I am strengthening you, not because you have all the answers, but because I am guiding your steps, not because the road is easy, but because I am walking beside you. The breakthrough you seek is not as far away as you think. The change you have been praying for is closer than it appears. The answer is already moving toward you, even now, even while you listen, even while doubts try to whisper in your ear. I am working. Never forget this. Seeds do not grow overnight. Yet every day beneath the surface, something is happening. Roots are spreading, life is forming, growth is taking place. The same is true for your life. You may not see immediate results. You may not see visible progress. You may feel as though nothing is changing. But beneath the surface, I am developing strength. I am building character. I am creating opportunities. I am arranging connections. I am preparing blessings that will arrive at the proper time. Do not judge your future by your current circumstances. Your present situation is not your final destination. The chapter you are living right now is not the entire story. There are pages you have not read yet. There are miracles you have not witnessed yet. There are victories you have not celebrated yet. There are prayers you have not seen answered yet. And there are blessings that are already carrying your name. Stay faithful, stay hopeful, stay close to me. Because the next season will require courage, not fear, faith, not doubt. Confidence, not anxiety, for where I am leading you, hesitation cannot accompany you. I am teaching you to trust my voice more than your fears, to trust my promises more than your emotions, to trust my wisdom more than your understanding. And as you learn to do this, your life will begin to change in ways you never expected. Before we continue, I want you to pause and think about something. How many times have I carried you already? How many storms have you survived? How many battles did you think would destroy you? How many difficult seasons did you somehow make it through? You are still here. That is not an accident. That is evidence. Evidence of my faithfulness. Evidence of my protection. Evidence of my love. The same God who carried you before will carry you again. The same God who provided before will provide again. The same God who rescued before will rescue again. I have not changed, and I never will. So lift your eyes, take a deep breath, release the fear you have been holding. Release the pressure you were never meant to carry. Release the outcome into my hands. Because I am already ahead of you. I am already in tomorrow. I am already preparing what you need. And very soon you will understand why I asked you to trust me. For now, keep listening. Because what I reveal next may be the very answer you have been searching for. Before we continue, stay with me for a moment longer. Because this next message is not for everyone. Many people hear my words. Few truly receive them. Many nod their heads. Few allow those words to transform their hearts. And the difference between the two is greater than you realize. Listen carefully. The next chapter of your life will not be determined by fear. It will not be determined by what others think about you. It will not be determined by the mistakes you made yesterday. It will be shaped by what you choose to believe today. Because every day you are standing at a crossroads. One path is fear, the other is faith. One path is worrying, the other is trust. One path keeps you trapped in all thinking. The other leads you into the future I have prepared for you. And whether you realize it or not, you are making that choice every single day. The thoughts you entertain become the direction of your life. The words you repeat become the atmosphere around your spirit. The beliefs you nurture become the foundation beneath your feet. This is why I have been calling you closer. Not because I need your attention, but because you need my perspective. You have spent too much time looking at your situation through the eyes of fear. Now I want you to see it through the eyes of faith. What if the challenge you are facing is not proof that I have abandoned you? What if it is proof that I am preparing you? What if the delay is not rejection? What if it is refinement? What if the closed door is not punishment? What if it is protection? What if the waiting season is not emptiness? What if it is preparation for something greater than you can currently imagine? These questions matter because your perspective determines your peace. Two people can stand in the same storm. One sees disaster. The other sees an opportunity for growth. One becomes consumed by fear. The other becomes strengthened by faith. The storm is the same. The difference is what they believe. And today I am inviting you to believe differently. Stop measuring my faithfulness by your circumstances. Measure it by my character. Have I not carried you before? Have I not provided when provision seemed impossible? Have I not opened doors that no one else could open? Have I not sustained you through seasons that should have overwhelmed you? Then why do you assume I will stop now? Why do you believe this challenge is somehow greater than my power? Nothing has changed except the size of the obstacle standing in front of you. And the obstacle may have grown larger, but my power has not grown smaller. I am still the God who parts seas. I am still the God who restores broken hearts. I am still the God who creates paths where none seem to exist. I am still the God who specializes in impossible situations. So do not allow fear to convince you that your story is ending. What you call an ending may simply be a transition. What you call loss may become a testimony. What you call confusion may become clarity. What you call weakness may become strength. The greatest transformations often begin when nothing makes sense. Remember that. Because there will be moments in the days ahead when your emotions try to convince you otherwise. There will be mornings when doubt knocks on the door of your mind. There will be nights when worrying tries to steal your peace. There will be situations that tempt you to panic. And when those moments arrive, I want you to remember something. Your feelings are real, but they are not always truthful. Fear speaks loudly. Faith speaks steadily. Fear creates urgency. Faith creates confidence. Fear demands immediate answers. Faith trusts even when answers have not yet arrived. That is why I am teaching you to listen for my voice above all others. The world will always offer reasons to worry. People will always offer opinions. Circumstances will constantly change. But my truth remains the same. Anchor yourself there. Not in headlines, not in rumors, not in predictions. Anchor yourself in my promises. Because my promises do not depend on the economy. They do not depend on public opinion. They do not depend on the approval of other people. They depend on me, and I do not fail. Now hear this carefully. There are blessings approaching your life that require a different version of you. Not a perfect version, not a flawless version, but a stronger version. a wiser version, a more mature version. The person you are becoming today, preparing you for the opportunities of tomorrow. That is why some lessons have been repeated. That is why certain challenges have returned. Not because I want you to suffer, but because I want you to grow. A tree cannot reach great heights without deep roots. And deep roots are developed beneath the surface where no one can see them. Many people want visible success. Few are willing to endure invisible preparation. Yet the preparation determines the outcome. And you are being prepared more than you realize. There is a strength developing inside you that did not exist a year ago. There is wisdom forming within you that was born from experience. There is discernment growing within your spirit. You were not who you used to be. You have come farther than you think. You have survived more than you acknowledge. You have grown more than you recognize. Stop overlooking the progress I have already produced in your life. Sometimes you focus so intensely on where you want to be that you forget how far you have already come. Take a moment and remember. Remember the fears that once controlled you. Remember the battles that once overwhelmed you. Remember the prayers that have already been answered. Remember the doors that have already opened. Remember the times when you thought there was no way forward. Yet somehow here you are, still standing, still believing, still moving forward. That is not weakness. That is evidence of my grace at work within you. Now let me tell you something that may surprise you. The breakthrough you seek is not only about receiving something, it is also about becoming someone. Many people pray for blessings. Few pray for the character necessary to sustain them. Many pray for open doors. Few pray for wisdom after the doors open. Many pray for success. Few pray for humility while experiencing success. But I care about both. I care about what I give you. And I care about who you become while receiving it. That is why my timing is perfect. Not early, not late, perfect. I know exactly when you are ready. I know exactly when the opportunity is ready. I know exactly when the people involved are ready. Nothing catches me by surprise. Nothing arrives outside my awareness. Nothing escapes my attention. So release the pressure of trying to control everything. You were never meant to carry that burden. You were never meant to know every answer. You were never meant to predict every outcome. Your responsibility is faithfulness. My responsibility is the outcome. And I am very good at what I do. The future is safer in my hands than it could ever be in yours. So rest, not because every problem has disappeared, but because I remain in control. Rest, not because you understand everything, but because you trust the one who does. Rest, not because the road is easy, but because you know who walks beside you. Very soon, you will see why this season was necessary. Very soon, pieces will begin fitting together. Very soon, what seemed random will reveal purpose. Very soon, confusion will give way to understanding. And when that day comes, you will realize that I was guiding you all along. So keep moving forward, keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting. Do not stop now. You are closer than you think. And what I want to tell you next may completely change the way you view the battle you are facing right now. Before you leave, listen carefully. What I'm about to reveal may explain why this season has felt so exhausting. Because you've been judging your situation only by what you can see. But there is far more happening than what appears on the surface. You see the delay. I see the preparation. You see the obstacle. I see the opportunity hidden behind it. You see the closed door. I see the danger that never reached you because I shut that door first. There are moments when you wonder why life feels heavier than it should, why progress seems slower than expected, why certain prayers remain unanswered, why some struggles linger longer than you planned. And during those moments, it is easy to assume that nothing is happening. But that assumption is rarely true. The roots of the strongest trees grow in silence. The foundations of the tallest buildings are laid underground. The most important work is often invisible. The same is true in your life. Even now, while you are waiting, I am working. Even now, while you are wondering, I am arranging. Even now, while you are questioning, I am preparing. You do not need to understand everything to trust me. You only need to remember who I am. I am the one who sees the beginning and the end at the same time. I am the one who understands every detail before it unfolds. I am the one who knows every conversation, every opportunity, every challenge, and every victory before it arrives. Nothing surprises me. Nothing catches me off guard. Nothing forces me to change my plans. And because of that, you can rest, not because everything is perfect, but because I remain in control. Now listen closely. One of the enemy's favorite strategies is distraction. If he cannot destroy your purpose, he will try to distract you from it. If he cannot stop your future, he will try to keep your attention trapped in your past. If he cannot make you quit, he will try to make you discouraged. This is why so many people spend years carrying burdens they were never meant to carry. They replay old conversations, old failures, old regrets, old disappointments, again and again. Meanwhile, the future stands waiting. The opportunity stands waiting. The blessing stands waiting. But their attention remains fixed on what has already happened. Do not fall into that trap. Your future deserves more attention than your failures. Your purpose deserves more attention than your regrets. Your calling deserves more attention than your fears. I did not create you to spend your life looking backward. I created you to move forward. There are still mountains for you to climb. There are still people for you to encourage. There are still victories for you to experience. There are still prayers that will be answered. There are still miracles with your name on them. And none of those things can be reached by living in yesterday. Release what is behind you, not because it was insignificant, but because it is finished. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can influence tomorrow. And tomorrow begins with the choices you make today. Choose faith. Choose hope. Choose gratitude. Choose obedience. Choose trust. Every one of those choices strengthens your spirit. Every one of those choices moves you closer to the future I have prepared. Now let me tell you something important. Many of the things you have asked me for are good things. You have prayed for peace. You have prayed for provision. You have prayed for a healing. You have prayed for direction. You have prayed for restoration. And I have heard every prayer. Not one of them was ignored. Not one of them was forgotten. Not one of them disappeared into silence. I heard every word. Even the prayers you never spoke aloud. Even the tears that fell when words failed you. Even the sighs that no one else understood. I heard them all, and I want you to know something. Sometimes the answer begins long before the result becomes visible. A seed begins growing before anyone sees a plant. A sunrise begins before the first light reaches the horizon. A breakthrough often begins before circumstances reveal it. That is why faith matters. Faith allows you to keep walking before you can see the destination. Faith allows you to keep trusting before you can see the outcome. Faith allows you to remain steady while the answer is still unfolding. And that kind of faith pleases me. Not perfect faith, not giant faith. Simply a willing faith, a faith that says, I do not understand everything, but I trust you. That simple trust has carried people through impossible situations. It carried David before he faced Goliath. It carried Daniel in the lion's den. It carried Peter when he stepped out onto the water. It carried countless people through seasons that looked hopeless. And it will carry you too. Now hear this carefully. The next season of your life will require courage. Not because disaster is coming, but because opportunity is coming. Many people think courage is only needed during battles. But courage is also needed during blessings. It takes courage to step into new opportunities. It takes courage to leave familiar places. It takes courage to believe that something better is possible. It takes courage to accept the good things I desire to bring into your life. Some people pray for open doors and then become afraid when the doors actually open. Do not let fear talk you out of what faith prayed for. When the opportunity arrives, walk through it. When the invitation comes, consider it. When the moment appears, trust me. Because I would not bring you this far just to abandon you now. I would not teach you all these lessons only to leave you unprepared. I have been building strength inside you. You are stronger than you think, wiser than you think, more capable than you think. The growth happened gradually, so gradually that you barely noticed it, but I noticed. I saw every small step, every quiet act of obedience, every moment you chose faith over fear, every prayer whispered in private, every time you got back up after falling down. Those moments mattered. They shaped you, they prepared you, and they are about to serve a purpose. Very soon, you will find yourself facing situations that once would have overwhelmed you, but this time something will be different. This time you will respond with confidence. This time you will respond with wisdom. This time you will respond with peace. Not because the situation changed, but because you changed. And that transformation is one of the greatest miracles I perform. The transformation of a heart, the renewal of a mind, the strengthening of a spirit, the growth of faith. No one may applaud those changes. Few may even notice them, but heaven notices. And I notice. Now stay with me a little longer, because there is one more thing I need you to hear. Some of what you have been waiting for is closer than you realize. Closer than yesterday. Closer than last month. Closer than last year. The pieces are moving. The path is forming. The timing is approaching. Do not lose heart now. Do not quit now. Do not surrender now. You have come too far. The same hand that carried you through every previous season is still holding you today. And that hand will continue to guide you tomorrow. Keep listening, because what I will reveal next may be exactly what your heart has been waiting to hear. Before you continue with your day, stay with me for a little longer, because this next part is important. There is a reason you have felt a mixture of hope and exhaustion at the same time. A reason you have continued moving forward even when part of you wanted to stop. A reason you have not completely given up, despite everything that has happened. That reason is simple. I have been sustaining you. There were days when your own strength was not enough, days when your heart felt heavy, days when disappointment seemed stronger than hope, days when you smiled for others while silently carrying battles no one knew about. Yet somehow you kept going. You took another step. You faced another day. You found the strength to continue. That strength did not come from nowhere. I was there, quietly supporting you, quietly strengthening you, quietly reminding your spirit that your story was not over. Listen carefully. Many people assume that miracles only happen in dramatic moments. They expect lightning from the sky, a sudden breakthrough, an instant transformation. And sometimes those things happen, but often my greatest miracles happen slowly. A wounded heart begins healing. A fearful mind begins finding peace. A broken family begins restoring trust. A discouraged person begins believing again. A hopeless situation slowly begins turning around. These miracles are easy to overlook because they happen one step at a time, but they are miracles nonetheless. Do not underestimate what I am doing in your life simply because it is happening gradually. Growth is still growth. Healing is still healing. Progress is still progress. And every step forward matters. Now hear this. There are things you have been carrying that I never asked you to carry. The burden of trying to please everyone. The burden of trying to control every outcome. The burden of comparing your journey to someone else's. The burden of constantly worrying about what might happen next. These burdens were never meant for your shoulders. That is why you feel exhausted. You were created to trust me, not replace me. You were created to walk with me, not carry the entire world by yourself. Release what does not belong to you. Release the pressure. Release the anxiety. Release the need to have every answer. Some questions will be answered in time. Some doors will open in time. Some situations will become clear in time. But until then, trust me, because faith is not knowing every detail. Faith is knowing the one who does. And I know exactly where your life is headed. I know the opportunities coming toward you. I know the people you have not met yet. I know the blessings that have not arrived yet. I know the prayers that are still unfolding. Nothing about your future is uncertain to me. The path may seem unclear to you, but it is perfectly visible from where I stand. Now let me tell you something that could change the way you view this season. What if this waiting period has not been a punishment? What if it has been preparation? What if I have been strengthening your character while preparing your opportunity? What if I have been building patience while arranging provision? What if I have been developing wisdom while opening future doors? Would you still see this season the same way? Many people want immediate results, but immediate results often produce shallow roots. And shallow roots cannot support great blessings. That is why I sometimes allow preparation to take longer than expected. Because what I am building must be able to last. You may only see today's struggle. I see the future impact. You may only see the delay. I see the destination. You may only see the sacrifice. I see the harvest. Trust my perspective. Because my vision reaches far beyond the limits of today. Now listen carefully, because this next truth is for someone who feels discouraged. You have been measuring your life against unrealistic expectations. You expected yourself to be further ahead. You expected more progress by now. You expected certain prayers to be answered already. You expected certain battles to be over. And because reality has not matched your expectations, discouragement has tried to take root. But hear me. Stop focusing on how far you think you still have to go. Look at how far you have already come. You are not the same person you once were. You have learned lessons. You have gained wisdom. You have developed strength. You have survived seasons that once seemed impossible. You have grown, and growth should be celebrated. Even small victories matter. Even small improvements matter. Even small steps matter. Because small steps repeated consistently create extraordinary results. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not overlook quiet progress. Do not ignore the evidence of my work within you. I am changing things, sometimes from the inside out, and those changes will eventually become visible to everyone around you. There is another thing I want you to understand. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will understand your faith. Not everyone will understand the choices you make. And that is okay. You are not called to gain everyone's approval. You are called to follow my direction. There will always be people who misunderstand you, people who criticize you, people who doubt you, people who expect you to remain who you used to be. Do not let their expectations limit your future. Keep growing, keep learning, keep trusting, keep moving forward. The opinions of others cannot cancel what I have planned for you. The doubts of others cannot stop what I have started in you. The criticism of others cannot override my purpose for your life. Stay focused. Because distraction is one of the greatest enemies of progress. Now stay with me for this next part. Imagine standing at the edge of a mountain before sunrise. The darkness still surrounds you. The air is cold. The landscape is difficult to see. For a moment it feels as though morning may never come. But then something changes. A faint light appears on the horizon, slowly, almost imperceptibly, and before long, darkness begins retreating. The sun rises. The landscape becomes visible. The path ahead becomes clear. That is where many of you are right now. The sun has not fully risen yet, but the first light has already appeared. The breakthrough has not fully arrived, but signs of movement are beginning. The answer is not fully visible, but it is drawing near. Do not mistake a slow sunrise for a missing sunrise. Do not mistake a delayed answer for a denied answer. Do not mistake a quiet season for an abandoned season. I am still here. I am still working. I am still guiding. I am still protecting. And I am still writing your story. Very soon, you will understand why certain things happened. Very soon, you will see connections you cannot currently see. Very soon, pieces that seem unrelated will fit together perfectly. And when they do, your faith will become stronger than ever before. For now, continue trusting. Continue believing. Continue praying. Continue walking forward, because the chapter ahead contains blessings you have not imagined, strength you have not yet discovered, and opportunities that are already moving in your direction. And in the final part of this message, I'll reveal what you must remember whenever fear tries to return and steal your peace. Before this message comes to an end, listen carefully, because there will be moments after today when you need to remember what I am about to tell you. There will be days when circumstances try to speak louder than my promises. Days when unexpected problems appear. Days when old fears attempt to return. Days when discouragement knocks on the door of your heart. And when those moments come, I do not want you to forget this truth. You are not facing life alone. You never have been. You never will be. I have walked with you through every chapter of your story. I was there during the moments you celebrate. I was there during the moments you wish you could forget. I was there when tears filled your eyes. I was there when no one else understood your pain. I was there when you thought you had reached your limit. And I am still here today. The same faithful God, the same loving Father, the same source of strength, the same provider, the same protector, the same guide. I have not changed. And because I have not changed, my promises remain secure. Listen carefully. The future does not belong to fear. The future does not belong to anxiety. The future does not belong to doubt. The future belongs to those who continue walking forward in faith. That does not mean you'll never feel afraid. Even the strongest people experience fear. The difference is that they do not allow fear to decide their direction. They keep moving, they keep trusting, they keep believing. And that is what I am calling you to do. Keep moving forward, not because the road is easy, but because I am leading you. Keep believing, not because every answer has arrived, but because my character has already proven trustworthy. Keep hoping, not because every circumstance is perfect, but because I am working even when you cannot see it. There is something important I need you to understand. Some of the greatest blessings in your future are hidden behind simple acts of obedience. A conversation you almost avoid, a step you are afraid to take, a prayer you nearly stop praying, an opportunity you nearly overlook, a dream you almost abandon. Many people miss blessings because they quit one step too soon. They stop praying when the answer is already approaching. They stop believing when the breakthrough is near. They stop moving forward just before the door opens. Do not make that mistake. If you have come this far, keep going. If you have survived this much, keep believing. If you have seen my faithfulness before, trust it again. Because your story is not finished, there are still chapters left to write. There are still victories left to experience. There are still prayers left to be answered. There are still people whose lives will be touched because of your faithfulness. Never underestimate the impact of your life. You may think your actions are small. You may think your kindness goes unnoticed. You may think your prayers make little difference. But heaven sees what others overlook. A kind word can change someone's day. A prayer can change someone's future. An act of love can restore someone's hope. A moment of faith can influence generations. You have no idea how many lives you may touch simply by remaining faithful. That is why I want you to keep your heart soft. Keep your spirit teachable. Keep your eyes open. Keep your faith alive. The world has enough negativity, enough criticism, enough fear, enough darkness. Be someone who carries light. Be someone who brings hope. Be someone who encourages others. Be someone who reminds people that they are loved. When you do that, you reflect my heart. And when you reflect my heart, you fulfill part of the purpose for which you were created. Now let me speak directly to the burden you have been carrying. The burden that keeps you awake. The burden that follows you into quiet moments. The burden you rarely discuss with anyone else. Give it to me. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Stop carrying alone what I am willing to carry with you. Stop fighting alone battles that were never meant to be fought alone. Stop exhausting yourself trying to control what belongs in my hands. Bring it to me. Bring the worrying, bring the disappointment, bring the uncertainty, bring the questions, bring the fears, bring the tears, bring everything. I am not intimidated by your struggles. I am not discouraged by your weakness. I am not surprised by your questions. I already know, and I still love you completely. Nothing you have done can make me love you less. Nothing you face is beyond my ability to help. Nothing in your future is greater than my power. Remember that, especially when fear returns. Remember that when the night feels long. Remember that when the answer seems delayed. Remember that when doubt whispers lies. Remember that when you feel tempted to quit. Remember who walks beside you. Remember who carries you. Remember who fights for you. Remember who calls you by name. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not invisible. You are not alone. You are loved more deeply than you realize. And the days ahead hold more hope than you currently see. One day, you will look back on this season and understand. You will understand why certain doors closed, why certain delays happened, why certain lessons were necessary, why certain prayers took time, and when that day comes, gratitude will replace confusion, peace will replace anxiety, joy will replace heaviness, and your faith will be stronger because of everything you have overcome. So as this message ends, let these words remain in your heart. I am with you in the morning. I am with you in the afternoon. I am with you in the evening. I am with you in the silence. I am with you in the storm. I am with you in the waiting. I am with you in the victory. I am with you in every season of your life. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with peace. Walk forward with faith. The road ahead may contain challenges, but it also contains blessings. It may contain battles, but it also contains victories. It may contain waiting, but it also contains fulfillment. And through it all, my hand will remain upon you. Now go forward, release your fears, lift your head, strengthen your heart, and trust me one more time. Because the best chapters of your story have not been written yet. I love you. I am with you. And I am already preparing the way before you. Amen.